Good morning. Prime Minister Hawke has promised to implement what's been described as an historic compact of understanding with Aboriginal people before the end of the year. At the start of a visit to the Northern Territory, Mr Hawke said he'd like the agreement signed before bicentennial celebrations begin in 1988.
The Prime Minister was given a warm welcome from the Territory's Aboriginal population when he arrived in Alice Springs. Their vote secured the seat of Northern Territory for Labor in the July election, and Mr Hawke now wants to repay the favour.
The important thing is that there be a clear statement of understanding by the total Australian community of the obligations that the community has to rectify so many of the injustices that have occurred during our 200 years.
The Prime Minister said some sort of compact could be completed this year and warned state premiers if they didn't introduce their own land rights legislation, his government would bring in national uniform laws. Jeff Maurice reporting for Today.
There have been violent scuffles in North Queensland as conservationists clashed with landowners over the future of the state's rainforests. And Premier Sir Joh Bjelke-Petersen has declared war on the federal government. He told a pro-logging demonstration in Cairns he'd fight Canberra's proposed World Heritage listing of Queensland forests.
Before the Premier arrived, it seemed the rally would be a low-key affair. Several hundred timber workers there to lodge their support for the state government. But by the time Sir Joh arrived, the numbers had swelled, and the conservationists joined the crowd to back the federal government.
It's not we are at war. We are really at a war, in a war situation. Not the Brisbane line, but we are in war in this part of the state from Townsville north.
While the locals tried to keep the conservationists away, it wasn't long before they came face to face, and tempers flared.
We can't run cattle, we can't cultivate, we can't clear the land, we can't even build a road without your bloody permission. It's our land!
As the arguments grew more heated, a scuffle broke out and police moved in to separate the two parties.
Mixed reactions to plans by Federal Treasurer Paul Keating to reintroduce negative gearing on rental accommodation. While the proposal to water down restrictions on negative gearing has been welcomed, the suggested trade-off to abolish the depreciation